All right, all right, all right. Yes, 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 yes. Let's get in. How are you? What's going on? Natasha Davis, your chief visionary. Natasha Davis, your chief visionary. What's going on, guys? Happy Thursday. That's right, babies. Come on in. It is time for a day in the life of business. This is the Real Biz Life Show, and we are excited right here every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I get to come in and unpack business strategy principles, and also to lift the lid on your thinking, help you to explore the greater possibilities that are sitting right in front of your face and you may not be paying attention to it, right? So we get to hang out here inside of my business lab, and we get to talk about those things that maybe are swimming around in your head, or maybe you've not even heard about it, or you've heard about it but you really haven't had time to think about it. So we spend a little bit time here in the business lab unpacking bits and pieces of things, and we do it relatively rapid so you can get these golden nuggets, right, and get back to work doing what you do best. I'm really excited to be hanging out with y'all today. I know you can be doing anything at this time, but I thank you for hanging out with me. Just remember, if you chat with me in the chat room, I will chat back with you. You can drop any question you want. I'll answer the appropriate ones. How about that? You can drop any question, but I'll answer the appropriate ones. All right. So, for those who don't know me, my new viewers, thank you for coming to hang out. We are live in Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And so, Natasha Davis, Chief Visionary, I'm the CEO and founder of Impact Branding Consulting, and also the SaaS tool called the Profit Enhancer. And I love being able to come in and uncomplicate those complicated things around business, around strategy, around structure, and just even about scaling. I really love to look at efficiency, and not only efficiency, but how do we scale? How do we actually scale, but do it as efficiently as possible? I want companies to perform like they've never performed before. So as you know, this is the year of 2024 that this is being recorded in our episode here. And this year we are focused on economies of scale. I'm going to be unpacking so many different principles around scaling in different compartments. And I like to break it down into bite-sized pieces. Yes. All right. So listen, if you haven't told somebody to come hang out with us, excuse me, don't be stingy. There's enough for me to go around. Go and tell somebody to come and join us here in the party. We are inside the business lab. We are about to unpack some things, right? So go tag them, text them, mention this, call them up like, listen, she's live, get on this right here. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, right? If you're here hanging in YouTube, like, subscribe, and share this information. And if you hit that little bell, you get a notification when I go live, so you don't have to commit it to memory, right? Right. All right. So what's happening today? I'm going to talk about a principle that many of us have probably heard. We've maybe thought about it, but maybe we didn't really act on it, or we don't know how to act on it. We don't really know how to take the next steps, right? And so today we're going to talk about really developing a passive income strategy. In this day and age, having a passive income strategy is a necessity. It's not, maybe I'll get around to it. It's not even a luxury anymore. It's a necessity, especially, right? And so when we're talking about putting pieces of the puzzle together so that we can think big, so that we can build momentum, so that we can scale fast, one of the things that we have to look at is, what is our passive income strategy? How are we really making that happen? And so let me just share with you that this is the time to mobilize your goals. This is the time to even think about, what am I really doing? Okay. What am I really doing? What am I trying to accomplish? What do we stand for as a company? Where are we going? Right? How are we going to get there? Right? This is the time to mobilize your goals. So I do want to share with you, if you have been one of those people that's been like, I know I have goals, but sometimes hitting the button, getting going, it kind of jams me up a bit. I want you to go ahead and access the goal setting mastery course. The goal setting mastery course, you can see the link on the screen, ibcacademyonline.com. The goal setting mastery course is really designed to help you to unpack your thinking, lift the lid off your thinking, and start moving. Like, really start moving and start putting things in place. And the goal setting mastery course. Also, you're able to get what? You know, I love it. This the Be Unleashed journal. This journal is beast mode. If you haven't gotten yours yet, I really, really encourage you to get it. It has some super, super powerful and intentional things in here. And not only that, it has a way for you to develop your succession plan and how to manage that, right? So go ahead and get that. But go to ibcacademyonline.com so that you can begin to unpack bits and pieces of your goals. What exactly are you trying to accomplish in this day and age? How are you trying to get there and all that good stuff, right? So just go ahead and make that happen. All right, so let's get ready to go inside of the business lab. We are jumping into business lab. Thank you so much for joining me. And I want you to get a pen and paper, but I also kind of just want you to jot some quick things down, but I want you to listen most importantly. Listen most importantly, because today what we're talking about is developing a passive income strategy. Now, let's make sense out of what we're doing, right? And so I want to make sure that we're not playing business. We're not playing wealth building, right? We're not playing scalability. We're doing the thing, okay? And so when we're looking at developing a passive income strategies, you can take many different routes to get there, but let's get the foundation of it. There's a difference between active income and passive income, and most people, when we step into business, we step into an active income realm, right? We step into a place where if we don't show up or we don't put our hands on something, we don't get paid. And that's typically what happens. You start a business, it's all hands on deck, right? And then you're really building a business. And if you don't touch it or if you don't show up, it doesn't work, right? Like for myself as a consultant, if I don't show up, I don't get paid. So it's imperative that I have my passive income strategies, because what happens if I physically can't show up? What happens if I'm not well? What happens if I need to dedicate time to my family or something of that nature? So passive income became something that was an absolute necessity for me probably about 10 years ago. It was imperative I had passive income, and I figured that out relatively quickly. The first go round, probably a little bit sooner, but soon thereafter, the first go round, when I needed to take time away to give my undivided attention to my family. My father was very sick several years back. And I had to show up for him, and I chose to show up for him. That was my priority, right? And I wanted to be at the bedside. I needed him to know that I was there and I didn't have any distractions. And that was at the time where I realized I have all active income. If I don't show up, I don't get paid, I don't eat, nothing's moving. And it was that time that I realized I had to change some things, and I made some significant shifts in my business and also in my thinking as a businesswoman. So fast forward, unfortunately, my dad has passed on since then. But even at that time, when he got sick about maybe 4 years ago, when he passed away, I was able to sit at his bedside and be with him. And I can tell you that came from the structure that I built, where I had passive income. I didn't have the mental or emotional capacity to think of how am I going to make money. Like how am I going to pay my bills? I didn't think about that. How's everyone else going to get paid? My focus was on him. So passive income is not only, it lifts the weight off of you, but it's a blessing to you, to your family. It's also a blessing to your company. And as well, it opens up possibilities for you. So that's passive income. Active income, as I said, is you show up, you get paid. Passive income is you create, develop once, and it then gives you the dividends thereafter. It's ongoing dividends, right? And so you don't have to keep touching it, is what I'm saying. And that has to be the goal that you're going for, right? You convert an active income into a passive income? Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can, right? And so as I unpack these principles, you'll get that. So let's talk a little bit. The first thing I want you to understand, as we're building our companies and we're either creating a new company or building on the company we have, and maybe we're creating secondary companies, a principle that I strongly believe in, right, is if you're building secondary companies, subsequent companies, company 2, company 3, company 4, you have to make sure that you have a plan for that where it doesn't require you to physically show up every single day for the wheels to turn. You start it, get everything moving, implement systems and processes, get it moving, but then thereafter you have to make sure that it can be self-sufficient. How does it help itself, right? So that's going to be really important. The other principle that I believe in is, as when you build a business, don't just build a business, don't just create a business. You need to create scalable and like reproducible systems and processes. It's not just building a business or building a company. And that's the thing that I specialize in. And I love it. I love that the universe has chosen me and God has chosen me to be the chief visionary in this particular space. I love showing business owners how to get their company to run on its own, how to get the company to scale, how to get the company to be self-sufficient. How is it, as a leader of your business, you can very confidently step away for a month or two if needed or more, and the company still runs, making sure you build that. And so when we talk about building a business, we have to get past, and as we're running a company, we have to get past the mindset that you got to be there every day. No, your goal is to build it so that you're building this scalable, reproducible engine, right? That is filled with systems and processes that can be duplicated along the way. You never want to sacrifice quality. We're not ever going to do something where we sacrifice quality. Your goal is to build up, enhance the performance of the company and the efficiency of the company. And that is what I love to do. That's what I get to do with my clients in the marketplace, in the industry every day. That's what I'm blessed to do. And I love it. Okay, so when we think about active income, and I told you about converting, if you're sitting there and you're like, I have all active income, I don't want you to feel stuck. You don't have to necessarily shut that down, do something else. I'm going to give you some principles, and I want you to think about, how do I convert this thing into a passive income? And if you can't, obviously, then you start looking at adding on something that's subsequent. All right. All right. Awesome. Here's the other thing that we're going to look at: where there is no discipline, there will be no freedom. So let's stop the presses right here. Let's stop the presses right here. When you are building a passive income strategy, and you're implementing, I should say, your passive income strategy, as you did with a business, there must be some form of discipline. It is not the flick of a light, or, you snap a finger, or you rub the genie bottle and it's done. It's going to take some work, and you have to have discipline. So if you have a vision, you will then have discipline to something. And then when you are disciplined to something, you will have success. And through success is where the freedom comes in. Where there is no discipline, there will be no freedom. Another form of poor discipline is flip-flopping all over the place, right? You have to be clear. What am I doing? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? When are we going to get there? Have clarity in what you're doing to have vision, because it is through a clear vision that you will then be disciplined to it. And once you're disciplined to it, you will then have success, subsequently having freedom. So just remember that where there is no discipline, there will be no freedom. This is not a get rich quick anything. There is no sustainable get rich quick schemes. There's none. Okay. You're going to have some, but that you might be in jail shortly thereafter, or you may lose everything, including your respect in the industry. There is no sustainable form of get rich quick schemes. I'm not saying there aren't get rich quick schemes out there. I'm just saying there's none that are sustainable. Okay. So discipline is what we're looking for so that you can be successful. Have clear vision, you'll be disciplined to it, and you will be able to have the success that you're looking for. Okay. All right. So what are some things that we can be looking into with passive income? So we already know starting a business that does not require you to show up to make money. It doesn't require you to touch it every single day to make money. And so you can have a company and have a business that you're starting. I want you to learn to step back and say, how can I make sure that this thing runs without me? Yeah. So you're going to set it up, get it rolling, scalable systems and processes so it can be duplicated by any and all. Okay. The next opportunity you can look at is real estate. We all know about real estate. Real estate, real estate, real estate. Jumping in, you can buy a residential line of work. You can also buy commercial line of assets. It just depends on what you're doing. But real estate can be a very good passive income, but it depends on what you're buying. And I will say, one of the things that you're going to see more this year is I'm going to be bringing on some other subject matter experts to come hang out with me to unpack these scalable principles that we're going to be piecing out. And we'll be bringing on an expert in the space of real estate. How do you build your real estate portfolio and your enterprise, but building it to be a passive income generator, building wealth? So we're going to have an expert come in for that as well. Okay. The next thing that you can look at from a passive income perspective are investments. Investments. You're talking about dividend earning stocks. You're talking about bonds. You're talking about investing into other currency projects. You're talking about maybe investing into a business for a return on investment. You're talking about making investments. When you make an investment or a dividend earning or yielding opportunity, the expectation is when you pour into it, you're going to get it back, right? You're going to get something back. That is passive because you're not touching it. You're not touching it at all. When you think about the Ashley Foxes of the world. She's a phenomenal person, and she specializes in how to do investments in stock, into real estate investments. And she talks a lot about REITs. But Ashley Fox is one of the people that really opens up your mind about investments and building that passive income, building that not only wealth for the now, but that generational wealth, opening up the possibilities and freeing you up. So you want to look into those type of things, right? When we talked about the businesses, you can even talk about business acquisition. Business acquisition that doesn't require you to touch everything. The Cody Sanchez's of the world, she is phenomenal at that. So Cody Sanchez really helps you to lift the lid off your thinking. Like, okay, if you realize that this is the passive income route that you want to take, this is the strategy you want to do, you maybe want to do acquisition, then I would encourage you, check into Cody Sanchez. She is the GOAT at it, right? If you're thinking that you want to look into, maybe you want to do some, stocks and do some online investments and things like that, well, check into the Ashley Fox of the world. She's the GOAT when it comes to REITs and looking at investments. So these are the people that you want to align with. Your goal is to make sure that if you are stepping into unfamiliar territory, get the people to help you who have been doing it for a long time. Don't try to do this alone. All right. Commodities. Commodities is another really, really, really good passive income strategy to look at. You're talking about saving money in other countries, investing in gold, consumables, food, energy. You can do commodities if you want to do some passive income. But again, check into what you're doing. Don't just jump into it. And please don't go in there thinking I'm going to get rich quick. It's going to be on and popping in 3 weeks and 4 days. Don't do that. Discipline. Have a vision. You'll be disciplined to it. You'll have success. And remember, where there is no discipline, there will be no freedom. All right. So you got your commodities. Here's another great thing that you can do. I personally love this. I actually have these things as passive income, but digital assets. Digital assets has become one of the best and most powerful passive income strategies that business owners, especially consultants and professional coaches, this is an area that you have been diving into. And if you are a professional consultant or a professional coach and you do not have a digital asset, I want you to get popping. I want you to get moving and start developing the strategy. If you feel like you're stuck, you're like, I don't even know where to start, you can definitely reach out to me, schedule yourself a power chat, and we can step into a strategic planning session. You can also definitely go to freeibcgift.com, freeibcgift.com, and you can download a revenue acceleration checklist. These are some of the things that can maybe open your mind to passive income possibilities. So if you're stuck and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't even know where to begin, go get the freeibcgift.com to get kind of open up your mind. about what you can do, because you probably have it at your fingertips, you just haven't done anything with it. And then, or if you're like, listen, I need you to work with me, schedule a power chat. You see the link on there, impactbrandingconsulting.org, right? All right, so digital assets as a passive income. Digital assets as a passive income. I love digital assets for passive income because let me tell you what, it's one of those things that you build one time, market it, mobilize it, and let me tell you something, when that thing builds traction, it is done. I'm talking about let it roll, right? Let it roll. And so digital assets would be, you know, now the big thing coming up are the YouTube channels, and you can monetize a YouTube channel. I have a good associate of mine that spends a lot of time and decided that their passive income was going to be you building a very strong YouTube channel. And they now do anywhere from about $10,000 to $15,000 additional per month, purely from a YouTube channel. And that is obviously, again, discipline. It is discipline for that. It's not like I'm gonna pop up a channel, because in order to monetize on YouTube, there are certain criteria that you have to meet to do that. And you have to be able to deliver really good content, right? So you may be looking at launching a YouTube channel, right? Another thing you may look at is maybe some online courses, maybe doing an e-learning portal or platform. Several years back, that's one of the passive income strategies that I said, I love to educate, right? I love to educate people and give people tools how to uncomplicate things. And so therefore, that's why we launched the IBC Academy. So the IBC Academy is launched. That is a passive income strategy. But what we do is we pour in a lot of valuable content in there so people can access the courses at their own time, and they can learn, implement, and scale from that. You might want to look at membership sites. Membership sites are super, super awesome. Have an associate of mine. They have a membership company. If you've not popped into Sisterhood University yet, that is a really great membership site organization. There's a lot of community. There's a lot of connections in there, and you're really doing a lot of great things. And so membership sites is another great passive income. Also, eat books. Published literature. So publishing books and ebooks, that's something that's going to do. Audiobooks. These are things that are great passive income strategies. Some places that you can look at to put some of your digital content, like your courses and audiobooks and stuff. You can look at like Skillshare, Udemy. These are great places that you can start setting up, and you can say, hey, I want to distribute my content in this capacity as well. I will say that when you do have digital assets, the discipline part of it is that you will need to make sure you have some kind of automated sales pipeline. What's that? You guys have heard that because I've taught you guys about sales pipelines here inside of the Business Lab. So pop back over and you can watch that episode and get your ducks in a row with developing a sales pipeline and also the automation piece of it. But you will need a really good automated sales pipeline strategy. So to tie in with your digital assets, that's really going to make a difference there, right? I would also say your lead generation process. And all of the things that I really talked about, you are going to need some form of a lead gen. Like, where am I going to get the business from? Where am I going to get the customers from? So you want to think about that. Even if you want to do acquisition of a business, like I told you, I had mentioned to you about the Cody Sanchez of the GOAT when it comes to business acquisitions and things of like that, buying another company. That's thing. She's like, well, hey, I got to find out who's selling so I can buy, right? So I want you to think about those things. So there you have it. We started to pick apart a little bit of the passive income. I wanted to lift the lid on your thinking, really talking to you about accomplishing economies of scale this year is the focus, making sure that you are really not only maximizing the time you have, but I want you to compress that time, compress the time you have so that you can accomplish the goals that you are looking for. Remember, if you need your chief visionary to do any strategy, speaking, or training, schedule a power chat at impactbrandingconsulting.org. And I look forward to having a chat with you and unpacking some principles. And if you have not liked, subscribed, and shared the YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and do that. I would appreciate it. And also YouTube likes it. Yes. And so also you get to be a source of resource bucket, because you're like, oh, how'd you know about this? Right. And if you hit that bell button in YouTube, you'll get a notification on it. Right. So check this out. Take this information, take these golden nuggets, implement them, grow from them. I will see you next week, Thursday at 9 a.m. for another episode of the Real Biz Life live right here inside of the Business Lab. Bring a friend with you. And also, if you are catching this on the replay, you are just as important to me, baby. You are just as important to me, boo, okay? Because the babies are the females, the boos are the male. Right? You are important to me, and I appreciate you for checking it out. So if you are on the replay team, put it in the chat room, hashtag replay team. Yes, and I'll show you some love as well. All right, one love, one heart, blessings upon blessings. I will see you next week, Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of The Real Biz Life. Talk to you guys soon.